It's the real news. I'm Aaron Mate. The United Nations has moved a step closer in the goal for a nuclear-free world. On Friday, the General Assembly approved the first ever global treaty to ban nuclear weapons.
This is a historic moment for the international community. This is the first multilateral nuclear disarmament treaty to be concluded in more than 20 years.
122 nations voted in favor. Countries can start signing the treaty when the UN General Assembly meets in September. But there's one big obstacle. All 9 nuclear powers, the US, Russia, Britain, China, France, India, Pakistan, North Korea, and Israel, opposed the treaty and boycotted the proceedings. I'm joined by 2 guests. Ira Helfand is co-founder of Physicians for Social Responsibility, and Rick Wayman is Director of Programs and Operations at the Nuclear Age Peace Foundation. Welcome to you both.
Thanks for having us.
Ira, I'll start with you. You were involved in this long process to get this treaty going. Your reaction to its passage after such a long period of work on it?
Well, I think this is truly an historic treaty that provides a real impetus to moving forward now towards the actual abolition of nuclear weapons. As you pointed out, the nuclear weapons states, the nuclear armed states, did not participate in this process, and that's been the whole problem. They have not wanted to honor their obligations under previous treaties, the Non-Proliferation Treaty, to eliminate their nuclear arsenals, and the rest of the world has finally lost patience. Concerned by the overwhelming medical evidence that even a very limited nuclear war would be a worldwide catastrophe, the rest of the international community has issued, I think, a real challenge, saying that they will no longer accept a situation in which 9 countries hold the entire world, including their own people, hostage to these terribly dangerous nuclear arsenals.
Ira, it's interesting you mentioned the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty, because the argument that I've heard from the US and other nuclear powers is that we need to strengthen the NPT, that's the answer. That's why we don't need this new ban.
Well, the NPT specifically calls on all nations to negotiate further agreements to eliminate nuclear weapons. And so this treaty is fully consistent with the mandate of the Non-Proliferation Treaty. And the United States, if it were serious about its obligations to negotiate the abolition of nuclear weapons, would have joined this process. The problem is that the United States and the other nuclear weapons states do not want to do that. They all intend to hold on to their nuclear arsenals as long as they possibly can. And this is a profoundly dangerous, reckless policy that they are pursuing. And we need to see a fundamental change in that policy, away from the idea that nuclear weapons in some way enhance national security. We need to understand, rather, that these weapons are the primary threat to national and world security, and that the world will only be safe, the people of the world will only be safe when these weapons are actually abolished and dismantled.